Hello everybody, TW here. All right, I got to shoot this 327 at 50 yards, and I think it's going to be good, but my regulation is off really bad, and I couldn't video because we got a lot of people on the range here. So I'm going to do a target show here, and then we'll talk about everything else. So here's 50 yards, really too far to be shooting this to start out, but here we go. So that's about an 8-inch circle, and I have peep sights. So obviously these two are 44s, so we've got 327 all down here. Regulation is off. I've got to aim way up here at the top of the target to get it to hit down here. So that's a problem. Because of that, I'm using kind of windage elevation, so I can't get really sharp picture. I'm aiming off the target, so I can't really tell when I'm centered up. It's a peep sight. So you got to kind of know elevation is going to be wonky because of that. But if you look at windage, aside from this one way over here, we're pretty close to, say, 5-6 inches wide. So you can probably figure half. So 2-3 inches. So if I can get 2 inches at 50 yards, I'll be thrilled. And I think it'll do it. Now this is a mixture of 327s and 32 longs. So there's that as well. I tried one 327 and I'm going to have to work on it, because as we suspected, it pushes the primer back into the firing pin slot, and it did come out no problem at all, but that was a light load. So I'm going to have to adjust my loadings for this and curtail 327s and just leave it as 32 H&Rs, which is kind of a bummer, but it shoots good, so that's okay. So let's get back to the bench. Let's tear all this down and talk about it. All right, everybody, here we go. So let's talk a little about the 327 insert here in my 410 shotgun. And I can't quite get it out. Let's see if I can pull it out with the rim of the case. It goes in pretty snug. I could get it with a screwdriver. Oh, there we go. I got it. So here it is. It's a Chazel. You saw it in the last video. 410, 327 adapter. And it works really good. I'm pretty pleased. Overall, I'm really pleased. It's going to be a shooter. I'm pretty confident it's going to be a shooter. Goes in here nicely, opens and closes, no problems. The problem is my sights. I got this on backwards because I thought maybe I might be able to get it a little bit lower, but no. There's not much I can do here. It is what it is. I could make it higher, but I can't make it lower. And I need lower. Overall needs lower. So my only option is the front. And unfortunately, that's already a pretty low front sight. I don't think I'm going to find one lower. I can look, but it's a Remington style ramp. So I think I'm better off changing to a lower ramp. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of hunting to see what I can find. I don't remember what I did in here. I think it's just one hole that I tapped. It's kind of a bummer because it was set up for 410, and I want to say it was okay regulation wise, because we're talking about two pretty different velocity ranges. You know, 32 long, 32 H&R, This was just a really light load, 2 grains of bullseye with an 85 grain bullet. And this is a 95 grain. This is actually a factory box of ammo I picked up somewhere. But it's okay. Probably a big palm, so I'm going to say a big softball size group at 50 yards with a peep sight. So not atrocious. I know I can do better because I can't even aim it with the sights and get a group on paper because it hits too low. It's below the target. So I got to aim off target if I line up the sights, or I can use the front, eliminate the front sight and just use it as a solid flat to be able to be like 65 yards. I'm sorry, this guy's on the range, so we got a little bit of noise. But that's what I'm finding. So I'm going to have to change this ramp out to a lower ramp, lower front sight, lower ramp. And then I can get back in the middle of the regulation for the rear peep, and come back out and see what I can get. But it's shown enough promise with what I got out there to show it's going to shoot. So I'm really pleased about that. I shot sorry. I shot 1 3/27, and I had my hand on this buckle, and the buckle cut me, so that's what that is. So nothing problem with what I was shooting. The buckle cut me. That's it. We can revisit this. I'll have another video. I'll talk about sight regulation, and I'll change that out if I can find something else. Hopefully I've got something. I think I've got some ramps at home. Hopefully I got something lower. We'll see. And we'll go from there. Otherwise, I'll be on Brownells Midway and see if I can buy something. And hopefully I can make it work. I don't want to drill a whole bunch of holes, but we'll see what I can do. That's about it. Sorry it wasn't better. Like I said, we had a bunch of guys in the range, and now everybody's gone, and I could do it now, but that's that. All right. God bless everybody. We'll be out.